Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for yet another progress update for our pathway projects of year two. We're very excited that we have so many partners engaged in this work in the Center of Workforce Innovation for Data and Computer Science. You may see, if you were very engaged last year, that we combined some of our centers in technology and innovation into this one Center of Workforce Innovation because they were all so related. And probably we were taxing the same partners for all the different centers. So, you live, you learn. This statewide Pathways initiative has evolved. We're very excited to have 45 Pathways projects underway for year two across all 8 of our centers of workforce innovation. And certainly data and computer science is one of our most exciting, I think. I'm sorry, I'm not picking favorites, but as you can imagine, and probably in your daily life, computer science, data science is kind of like what's happening, even if you're just holding your cell phone all day long. So I want to thank all of our partners who are engaged, and we welcome more. No one wants to see my picture, Stephanie. So here's the agenda for today. We will have a update from each of the Pathways projects engaged in this Center of Workforce Innovation. And then we will have a question and answer session. So please put your questions as they come to mind in the chat, and we promise to get to all of them. Lastly, we'll share with you some upcoming events that are happening in the center, as well as for this Pathways initiative statewide. Here are all of our education partners engaged in this center. We are incredibly excited to have so many four-year colleges and universities engaged, and we'll be adding more soon. We'll talk about that a little while later. But certainly we have high schools, four-year colleges or universities, as well as community colleges. I know last year, and we have some other partners, inclusive of private or community-based organizations. And that's what an education ecosystem looks like when all the education sectors converge and work together for the greater good of traditional students, non-traditional students, adult learners, incumbent workers, just anyone looking for education and training opportunities to ensure that they have family sustaining wages. And so again, I just want to thank all of you all. I am now going to introduce the lead representative for the Center of Workforce Innovation for Data and Computer Science. The County College of Morris is the lead institution, and their most trusted representative is Kelly Fitzpatrick, who is a professor at CCM and certainly has been engaged in this work from year one. So Kelly, kick us off.
Hi, thank you, Catherine, for the introduction. I want to welcome everyone to today's Center for Workforce Innovation, sponsored by NJCCC. Again, this is the Computer and Data Science Pathway, and I really look forward to hearing everyone's presentation on sharing out the progress that you've made in your projects for year two. Again, so we started, the first project that we're going to introduce is the Pilot Summer Institute for Data Science, and the County College of Morris, along with Camden Community College, are both sponsoring and working on the Summer Institute. The County College of Morris did hold the Summer Institute last summer in the last week of July. And the 4 main goals of the Summer Institute is really to expose high school students to data science terminology, data science vocabulary, and the new technologies and tools that are used in data science. High school students will understand the pathways that they can engage in as far as entering and enrolling in dual enrollment courses in data science, transferring to two-year community colleges, and then transferring to four-year institutions. So we really want to engage students early on in 9th and 10th grade and let them know about the pathways and how they can really get a full education in data science starting very early on, even in the high school. They will gain understanding of career opportunities and internships that are available within their local counties in data science. And we also show them and introduce them to what our courses, certificates, and programs look like within our institutions. This was the Pilot Summer Institute, again, that we held in July. This was the group that we worked with. We had about over 50 students, and some of these other students were in the Advanced Manufacturing Bootcamp. The program that we hosted was a 4-day workshop. It started at 9 a.m. and ended at 1 p.m. every day. We started off with breakfast, welcoming the students to CCM. Day one was Monday, where we did a Google artwork and kind of an AI introduction to AI. We also had our industry partner from Moody's speak and let the students know what it's like to be a data scientist working in industry. The second day was Tuesday, where we did predictive analytics using our technology, and the students were really engaged in a project where they had to predict their music preferences based on 7 different variables. The third day was The third day was Wednesday, where we introduced students to Python programming. And then the fourth day, we did a workshop using Tableau and exploring data visualization using Tableau technology. Next slide. Our demographics of who attended the workshop was predominantly 60% males, about 30% females. Again, our target audience was 9th and 10th graders, and about 50% of the population was Asian, and then the other 30% was rough white students. So that was the demographic data. We looked at, and I love this slide, how many jobs can you get? Again, the center dot is the college in Randolph, New Jersey. We want to look at how many jobs you can just get in Tableau. So exploring the Indeed job search within the 25-mile radius, there's over 400 jobs available just looking for experts in Tableau. Within a 50-mile radius of the college, there were over 4,000 job postings. And within a 100-mile radius of the County College of Morris in Randolph, New Jersey, there were over 5,000 job opportunities looking for experts and people who had the knowledge of Tableau. The Summer Institute, we did an exit survey, and the students really rated the projects about how well they liked them. The top 2 projects were the Tableau and the Spotify music preference done in R. Then the natural language processing and the AI images, and then the industry speaker. But the overall rating for our Summer Institute was 4.3 stars, so we were very happy with the rating that the students gave the Summer Institute. Improvements for next time. These were 6 improvements that we want to incorporate. Again, those looking to do a Summer Institute this summer. These are some things that from the student feedback and from our own experience that we would like to highlight and recommend for people taking on this adventure this summer is really incorporate more gamification into the projects. So we were doing a sentiment analysis project, who can get like the happiest song, who could get the saddest song. And we really wanted to engage the students more like a summer sports camp where they're actually engaged in competitions or games where you could win points and prizes. They also wanted to spend more time kind of exploring the data and exploring the technology on their own. So we're going to give them more time to just explore things and work on their own independently. Again, we're going to divide the teams up, the groups up into teams, kind of to have a competition to win prizes. We wanted to invite the parents or the high school teachers to the breakfast and take an opportunity for that morning breakfast to kind of engage more people, the parents, and again, the high school teachers or guidance counselors, and let them know what we're doing in data science at the County College of Morris. For some reason, I ordered a lot of large and extra large t-shirts, not realizing that these are 9th and 10th graders. So the next time we order t-shirts, we're going to order more small and medium-sized t-shirts. I think that was my own fault. We want to, again, allow more. The exit survey that we did was right at the end. And again, being 9th and 10th graders, some of them, you know, I want to maybe walk them through the exit survey and how to answer the questions in the exit survey. So some of them were Likert questions on a scale of 1 to 5. And those students, maybe it was their first time seeing a survey designed like that. And also we didn't hand out certificates at the end, but sometimes the students only showed up for 3 of the 4 days. So in order to encourage students to attend all 4 days of the Summer Institute, we are going to say, if you attend all 4 days, we'll hand you a certificate of completion at the end. The Pilot Summer Institute, we disseminated our information this semester at our MAMA meeting, which is the Morris Area Mathematics Alliance. This is a consortium of local high school teachers and guidance counselors that attended at the County College of Morris. And we just highlighted what we did over the Summer Institute and let them know that we'll be running the Summer Institute again. We also disseminated our information at the Fall Matic, New Jersey meeting on October 28th. And we had a nice group of people who were interested in hearing what we were doing for the Summer Institute. Again, my email is below if you have any questions. And then I think the next slide, we'll go over to Joe from Camden.
Thanks, Kelly. Good morning, everyone. So we've been working closely with the County College of Morris and Kelly on developing our Summer Institute, and we're trying to make it as similar as possible to what Kelly did, especially for consistency in data collection and survey analysis at the end of the program, so we can compare results in a more precise way. So we've secured the rooms necessary to accommodate at least 48 students. We have another room that we could expand to 72. Right now we have our communications department is developing the recruitment flyer, the online registration page, the t-shirt design. That should all be done this week, along with a certificate of completion I forgot to write on there. Let's see. We've invited schools from the Camden County students from Camden County Tech. That's it's a high school, so it's 9th through 12th graders, same thing with Cherry Hill East. And then the people who are graduating 8th grade from Voorhees Middle School and going into 9th grade, we also extended an invitation to them. And as soon as I have the digital documents, they'll receive all of those so they can get started registering early. And that's about where we are right now.
Great, thank you, Joe. The next project that we're going to highlight is the New Jersey Cyber Pathway Project to Cloud Computing. And Sylvia from Ocean County College will be introducing that project and letting us know the progress that has been made. Thank you, Sylvia.
Okay, thank you, Kelly. So the project we've been working on is the New Jersey Cyber Pathways to Cloud Computing. And through this project, my team from Raritan Valley Community College, Mutatsum, Fawad, who's with me today, and Rowan College at Burlington County, Paul Warner, Taji Kenny, and Dr. Tate, we decided that we thought we wanted to look at 2 certificate programs using 3 different modalities. And this would be instructional delivery that we could then use a shared repository for our documents, our courses amongst the 3 institutions. So the 3 modalities are face-to-face, online, and HyFlex. And for those of you that aren't that familiar with HyFlex or that terminology, HyFlex is synchronous online learning. That is the instructor and some students in the classroom. And then we have some students like we do now, which are not in the classroom, but delivering the courses in real time. So the courses that we developed in the 2 programs, the 2 certs, are aligned with industry recognized standards and also the NICE framework. And that's to prepare us to develop our centers of excellence. RCBC already has a center of excellence, and I know that Mutatsum and myself are working towards that as well. Each of the courses that we've completed or a student completes are completely transferable, or that's the goal between the partner colleges, right? So if I have a student that takes Linux Plus with Mutatsum, and then he happens to offer that online, and another course that maybe we're teaching, say Networking Plus face-to-face, we'll give credit back and forth. So there's a seamless transfer of the credits to their home institution. And of course, we'd like to see that for all the New Jersey community colleges or colleges in New Jersey in general. So that would be the ultimate goal, that we could do this transfer amongst all of our colleges. Next slide. So this was the crux or the heart of what we did. We developed 10 3-credit courses for 3 modalities. If you see, we have 2 pathways. Pathway 1 is cloud computing and forensics certificate, and pathway 2 is cyber health care and compliance. If you also notice that within those pathways, there are required courses with an associated credential. So if you're in pathway 1, you have to take 6 courses and then those 2, or if you're in pathway 2, you have to take the required courses and those 2 also. So what's different about this is we're not looking to get an AS or an AAS degree. It would be nice if we could, but these are strictly credentials. So if you take Linux, I'm picking on Linux, Mutatsum. If you take Linux, right? If you take that course, it's aligned with the CompTIA Linux Plus credential. So every one of these courses is aligned with the credential. So if you add them up, for each of the pathways, you could get up to 8 credentials, right? And they're also stackable. So I know for a fact right off the bat for us, we could stack 4 of those credentials and also get a certificate in cybersecurity. The target for what we wanted to do was for non-traditional or adult learners, right? Of course, high school and our dual enrolled can take these as well, but we really wanted to target for a different population. And of course, we wanted to be able to offer them in different, as I said, different modalities. Anything else, Mutatsum?
Yeah, good morning. I want just to add a couple of things.
Sure.
The courses will feature hands-on labs using trial versions of Microsoft servers, workstation operating system, free Linux CentOS operating system, which is equivalent to the Red Hat Linux Red Hat, the Cisco Virtual Lab environment with Packet Tracer. Students don't have to purchase any equipment or software to actually do the labs, but they do need a 64-bit operating system device. We've created lecture videos, either developed by us or from the courseware test app we're going to be using instead of a textbook. Hands-on labs using real software installed in virtual machines, either in VirtualBox or Hyper-V. And of course, we created the syllabi, the exams, threaded discussions for the online courses, and class activities for the on-site, where the faculty will actually do in-class activities while doing the lecture. That's it.
Okay, thank you. And I think the last thing well, that's okay. Yeah, thanks. The last thing I wanted to add is if you notice, we're starting to get, train the trainer. We're getting there. So what I'm trying to do with the, I have somebody's chat up there. Sorry about that. So we're now starting to move into cyber and healthcare and compliance. This seems to be a movement afoot that cyber isn't just about, hacking your bank accounts. It's about more than that. It's about just being on the internet, and especially in healthcare with regulations with, HIPAA and privacy and all that. So we are moving towards getting more involved with healthcare and cyber together. Okay, next slide. Thank you. So we did have some ancillary activities. That means those that weren't directly for our budget and, that were a good fallout, I'll say, from what we worked on. For RCBC, they've been working with technical education, the high schools through P-TECH program. I'm not sure if Paul Warner is on. If he is, I'd be happy for him to do this. Also, quick step programs for high schools. They can complete their ITF and Network Plus certs. In Ocean County, we're working with several of the high schools offering cyber programs as part of an evening school now. So again, now we're starting to look at, school adult learners. And also this program is to begin in the fall at Barnegat Bay. for dual enrollment. For RBCC, they've signed an agreement with Hunterton. They can earn up to 2-3 college credit courses, and the courses are desktop computer and software and networking. Next slide. I'm trying to move along. Okay. Yeah. Yes. So all three of us have been collaborating with a focal point at Rowan University. You can see that Mutatsum and OCC and us, we are completing a 3+1 articulation with Rowan in their Bachelor of Arts of Computing and Informatics. Of course, RCBC is as well. And they also have a 2+2 articulation with Wilmington University in computer and networking. Next slide. Okay, so this is focused on, it should be adult learners. Okay, and Mutatsum, you want to take the lead for yours? You're on mute, Mutatsum.
Okay, sorry about that. In regard to the prior learning assessment, we've developed skill-based assessments, SBAs, for each course. So individuals with relevant work experience or valid certificates are required to pass an SBA exam. So typically the SBA has a virtual lab configuration troubleshooting along with some theoretical questions. Those opting to take the SBA, they can review some of the videos that we've created for NLabs beforehand. If they pass the SBA, we grant them course credit. I had 2 students in my on-site classes that obtained an A+ certification and the Cisco certifications, and they've been offered internships this upcoming summer. One will intern with HP out in San Francisco, and the other with Ascendant. And just you know, the one with the interning with HP, that student actually needed accommodation, and he still needs accommodation when he first. I mean, he didn't even know how to use the keyboard, but he was persistent, and he actually made it. And he is going to Rider University in the fall.
Great.
The other thing is, I had two students that were adult learners. They came in, and one with industry experience in computers, and he wanted to take the SBA for the A+. So right now I reviewed his credentials, and he'll be able to hopefully take the SBA maybe towards the end of May. And the other one is he has a Network Plus certification, a valid Network Plus certification. So he will also go for the skill-based assessment exam as well. And if they do pass it, we also will grant them course credit.
Okay, great. Thank you. And so what we did was we took a little different approach, and we engaged in a market research needs assessment for adult learners. And we did this through the Hanover Research Company. What I found fascinating is that what they suggested is we need to increase and expand our program marketing to include adult learners. How about that? In counties south of Ocean County. Now, we just happen to have a campus south of Ocean County. So, of course, once we're finished this, my goal is to see what we're doing in and what we can bring down to this campus. It's in the Manahawkin, New Jersey area. And I just thought that was great. It's just perfectly dovetails into what we want to do and what they think that this company, this research assessments did, that what we should be doing is focusing down there, and we already have a campus there. Also, they talked about expanding programs, of course, always in healthcare and high wage, high demand occupations, which is what we're talking about now in information technology and computer science. Next slide. So someone, I think, I'm trying to read the questions while I'm doing the slides, talked about, do the faculty or staff get certified? I think I call this train the trainer, which is what you see, what you can see. I don't need to read the slide. I think we're running out of time anyway for us. So that each of the schools use the funds to train the trainer, which means for a faculty member or staff member to get trained on the course, get the credential, and then they can teach the course. So this is what we've accomplished so far and in this area. Next slide. The pilot. Hello? People still reading? Next slide. Nope, we're missing a slide. We're missing the pilot slide.
This is the pilot slide.
Okay, you're right. You're right. Sorry about that. Okay, I'm trying to hurry up because I'm watching my time, right? So.
Thank
okay,
you, Sylvia. We're fine.
Okay, good. So here are the three of us, and here's where we're at. As you can see, Mutasim is piloting 2 online courses, and RCBC piloting 3, and we're going to pilot. So we have online courses that are going in the summer and fall, and we have HyFlex and face-to-face courses that we'll be offering between the summer of 2024 and the fall of 2024. Okay, and I think the last slide is just some of the challenges that have been faced. Mostly, you can read that too. I think that I'm thinking I haven't talked to RCBC this week, but some of what's happening there is, they want to make some revisions to the courses, but hopefully that'll all be said and done by the time the end of this project happens. And I think one of the biggest challenges for us, because even though it's not part of this, it was part of the other, program we were in, is how much time it takes for everybody to execute the articulation agreements. I'm hoping that we can do this with other four-year institutions. Rowan's been great. But again, that's one of the challenges that I know that we've had in particular. And with that, I think I am finished. Okay,
Great.
so
Thank you,
So-
Sylvia
You're
Metuchen,
welcome.
for your presentation. The next project that we would like to highlight is the Bloomberg FinTech project. And we have Mitra from Essex County College, who will be speaking about this project.
Good morning, this is Mitra, but I'm going to ask Jermaine. Jermaine, are you on?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so, he's going to give you an overview of what the Bloomberg project actually means, and then I will go into the details. Go ahead, Jermaine.
Thank you, Mitra. So we started the Bloomberg terminals on campus aligned with our finance program. And soon we found that we had the ability to also offer our supply chain students, our economics students, and sorry, they take it while they're doing the economics class. So they do the first 4 modules, they get certified. They do another 4 modules in their Econ 102. And when they jump on to their 200 level courses, they basically do projects using the Bloomberg terminals for all the 4 majors. The recent developments are students from different majors. It could be computer science, it could be engineering. Most recent, law, that's the paralegal students, are also now getting certified because they have Bloomberg Law as well. And that's been a great boost to the college. So we can reduce a lot of monies that we spend towards that. We have a new terminals installed at our campus, at our West Essex campus in Caldwell, New Jersey. And we are very happy with the progress we've been making. We have now a financial literacy conference coming up on April 4th, which is a day-long event. And we have speakers from industry, very reputed speakers, CEOs, CIOs, and hedge fund founders who will be talking about the importance of finance, literacy, and of course, then even going on to the high-tech world where we talk about the different opportunities available to them. field trips to Bloomberg, field trips to different industries is also on the agenda. Yes, so that's where we are today as a college, and we are excited because we just got the 8 terminals installed, and we're looking for something new, a new pathway where we can take it to the next level.
Thank you, Jermaine.
Welcome.
So if you can go back, Stephanie, to that. Yeah, thank you so much. So, in a nutshell, Bloomberg terminals have been at the main campus, which is in Newark, and then a new, the West Essex campus was renovated recently, and we had received Perkins Fund for additional terminals at the West Essex campus. So with the funding from NJCCC, we were able to hire personnel to help with the, decimation of this, the instruction, of the, Bloomberg certifications at the West Essex campus. And this, provides them with really, it's like real time. It's real time. They get to see the trading market. They get to see the world market, and they have professors that actually teach them how to, operate these terminals. And at the end of that, they can take a test and get a Bloomberg certification. So at the inauguration, we had the Bloomberg, 2 representatives from Bloomberg who were there to, talk about the opportunities that this could provide the students. So as Jermaine mentioned, we're very excited and happy that we have been able to now have this at both campuses. So the idea is to use the new terminals at West Essex and pilot a program for 20 students. And Jermaine, I think you are next up for the speakers. I know you mentioned one. Is there anything else you want to add to it?
Yes, just one highlight. The students were very privileged to take part in the Global Trading Challenge alongside Princeton, Harvard, and the likes across the world, 2,000 plus universities. Last year, we ranked 300 over 1,000, which was unbelievable. We still have to wrap our heads around that. This year, we were 1,000 among 2,000. And the excuse we give, but it's good reason. Our coordinator who runs this entire program had a fall on campus. And so since she was missing, a stellar person was not available to guide them through this whole process. But this has given them an exposure and a confidence where even Bloomberg themselves are surprised at the level of expertise the students gained through this whole experience.
Next slide, please. I think, Jermaine, that's yours too, or talking about the economics 101
Yes.
and 102. Okay.
So this is where our students, it's become kind of mandatory now, where in their Econ 101 class, they do the first 4 modules. And in their Econ 102, they do the next 4. Some of them will go on to do another 4, which is the ESG. And now, as of this semester, just a few weeks ago, they've also added a financial literacy module, which helps the students get a better understanding of what it means to be financially literate. And so that's been another highlight. I have yet to personally get onto that, but that I'm told is the latest that Bloomberg has added to these modules. So all in all, I personally believe our students at a county college level know more than students at a 4-year college for now. I'm sure they'll, it's just that we afford them this privilege, which 4-year colleges do not, for some reason, afford their students this. We've had students at Rutgers, not to blame them or anything, but in their finance majors have not had access to Bloomberg. So that is something kind of surprising, but that's where we are.
for our connection to high school, under continuing education and under LV, who is our Dean of Community Continuing Education and Workforce Development, we also work with all the area high schools. We currently have 1,700 students enrolled in the dual enrollment program. And so one of the courses that they can take is Economics 102. And once they are enrolled in that course, as part of their course, they will have the opportunity to also work on the Bloomberg terminals and receive their Bloomberg certifications while they are still in high school. So we also think that's a great partnership to have with the high school, and hopefully we can also offer it to the other schools. Right now, we're just working with the West Side High School seniors in the coming months. We have not started as yet, but the fall semester is when it's going to be started in that high school. And the completion of these modules is between April and May 2024. That's for the pilot program that's going to happen in the West Essex campus. I think this is a repeat of the global and the coursework. So this is, yes, so this is, this is it in a nutshell. So like Jermaine said, we're very excited. We have seen what was happening with the students in the main campus with surprising results. And we're very excited to roll it out into these new, arenas like the high schools and our other campus. Anybody wants to come see, visit us, please do. You're more than welcome to come and visit. And also, Jermaine had mentioned about Lan Wang, who used to work in Bloomberg, is the main coordinator for this campus, and she takes students and staff to the for trips to the Bloomberg headquarters, and it is a fascinating sight to see. Kathy and I went on the last trip last summer, and it was really great. And even one of the partners that started the company with Mike Bloomberg was kind enough to come downstairs and meet with us and talk to us. So we were very pleasantly surprised that a small community college, inner city community college like Essex was given so much importance. So I'm sure we're making some inroads, and we are letting people know that if they want to grow their workforce, that they can reach out to community colleges, and there are some great talents that they can hire from. So that's our spiel. We don't have much more slides, so it's short, but this is what it is in a nutshell. And we saw pictures of the inauguration at the West Essex campus. That's our president, Dr. Boachi. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mitra and Jermaine. I'll just have to add that I worked in finance for years before coming to education, and I had a Bloomberg terminal. So I think it's phenomenal that students early on and at the two-year community college had the experience of using and understanding how to use the Bloomberg terminals. So it would be nice to roll that out to more community colleges across New Jersey.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I love the project. It's excellent.
Thank you.
The next project we're going to highlight is Discovering the Power of Data. And Joe from Camden Community College is going to present this project.
Thanks, Kelly. Hello again, everyone. I'll apologize in advance because I think you're going to have to be stuck with me for 2 projects in a row and listening to my voice. So right now, the project and its inception, we thought that we wanted to build a 3-course model that we could then, as a turnkey product, that we could then disseminate to high schools for dual credit around the state. And, again, to all community colleges, 4-year schools, whoever would like to use them, and that we're fully building out these courses. And the courses are Introduction to Data Science, Introduction to Python Programming, and Data Literacy. And that's the stickiest of all of them, actually, to be truthful. We're going to pilot these schools in at least 3 high schools coming up in starting in fall of 24. Right now, we are working with Cherry Hill East High School. We're also working with Pennsauken High School, and Ocean City High School. And I believe County College of Morris is working with their VOTEC, and we will most likely work with our VOTEC as well. So we've, let's see, that's about, next slide, please. Thank you. So part of the project, we have to create new courses or modify existing courses. So most of us had a Python course on the books, but we're looking for content agreement, right? So that we can have some uniformity here among our partner schools. Then we have to build out these courses. That's lesson plans, exercises, projects, you name it, right? And then we also would like to, we also created some mini presentations to attract high school participation, whether we deliver them at the high school or the students and parents come to our respective institutions, and we present to them there. And then over the summer, we're looking to train some interested high school faculty who maybe they're not up to speed on some of the data science stuff, but we can get them there. And right now, the completed courses, we're going to have them available through a repository. I'll talk a little bit more about that later, so that everyone can access them. It will all be OER. Let's see. So no project is without challenges. I'm sure if you've ever done anything in your home, you make the obligatory 5 trips to Home Depot during the term of the project. That might just be in one day. So naturally, we ran across some things, and one of them was content agreement, right? And so we've been working. Later on, we're gonna talk about the articulation group and curriculum group, and no course. I mean, there are some courses that are pretty standard across the board, right? But like a Calculus 1 course is Calculus 1 just about everywhere, as far as content goes. But when we look at something like data science, introduction to data science, we're talking about a new area, right? Fairly new area. And most of these schools are still 4-year schools, and 2-year schools are still developing courses and developing programs. So there seems to be a pretty good bit of variability across the 4-year schools and even some of the 2 years as to what they're calling introduction to data science, right? So in those articulation meetings, we had talked about 80% as a goal, or 80% or higher of matching content as a goal for a course to be transferable. So that's what we're shooting for here. Then we end up into this area of, and overcoming that wasn't always, whenever you have a group of people from 3 different schools or more, right? And you're trying to agree on something, sometimes that may not be the easiest thing to achieve, but I think we did a really good job of doing it. And we overcame it by, unlike Congress, we did it by listening to each other and discussing it like rational adults. I think that's probably the easiest way to get things done in general. Anyway, so we come across a lack of relevant texts as well. There aren't too many textbooks out there. So for introduction to Python, that's a piece of cake, right? That there are many excellent textbook online components, textbooks with online components. But when you come to something like introduction to data science, the text selection is pretty slim. So that search continues. We did have a presentation from 2 authors from Pearson that will be, their book will be published in, I believe it's January 25. And it's that one is under consideration for an introduction to data science course. It is nice to have a textbook for a course. I have nothing against OER. I think it's great, but it's also nice to have something to follow for the teachers, for adjuncts, and just for the students, right? To have something to follow along with. When it comes to the last course, that data literacy course, there's definitely a lack of viable texts. But we believe we've outlined a content-rich course without the luxury of a textbook. And again, we're a bit ahead of the curve in this, right? There is that, there's the benefit to being ahead of the curve, right? Where you are, you're out there, you're on the cutting edge. At the same time, once everyone else at the 4-year schools start developing these courses and programs, you're also at their mercy. and now you have to bend to their will in many cases. But so anyway, we're with the data literacy course. There's not a lot out there. There were a handful of data literacy courses across the can you go back to that last slide, please? Thank you. There are a handful of data literacy courses out there across the country, actually. And what some schools call data literacy, we don't really envision as data literacy. We're looking at a course that's not a statistics course, but not an introduction to data science course, right? So somewhere in between, which is kind of a fine line to walk because there's a good bit of overlap between the two, but it's more about making good decisions with data, right? Rutgers does have a course, it's called Data in Context, but it's taught out of their communications department. And it's kind of close to what we're considering to be what we call data literacy. And we all agreed on this, by the way. This wasn't something that everyone on everyone on the team feels that this is what data literacy should be. Now, again, we're just community college faculty. We may not know anything, but we'll see. So to resolve this, I'm hoping that we can make this a gen ed course, right? There are some gen ed courses right now. There's one in my school that I would love to get rid of that I don't think is doing the students any good, actually. But I think something like this would be good for them because they are impacted by data every day in their lives. Somebody's collecting data constantly on them, and having an understanding of it and how to use it and to their advantage and make good decisions. That's a life skill. That's something that's important. Not being able to work with hexadecimal numbers unless they're Matt Damon and they're stuck on Mars, then maybe they need those numbers, right? So creating the data literacy course is a bit of a challenge, but we're working through it. I think we have something pretty solid. Flexibility within the high school curricula, that's, again, there's limitations, right, on curricula. So we resolved this by agreeing that some schools may not have the luxury of using the entire 3-course package, right? But they can pick and choose and maybe use 2 or 1 or whatever that suits their needs. And most of the time, like a data literacy course would probably be for high school seniors. Same thing with an intro to data science course, whereas the Python course, that might fit in maybe a little bit earlier in their curriculum, it depends. As far as differences in meeting times and course length, right? We're all community college faculty. Not too many of us have taught at the high school level or below that. And our lectures, actually at our school, we don't have a lecture that's under 75 minutes. But at the high schools, and we have a semester to do everything, right? We have 15 weeks. Whereas the high schools have a full year. They meet maybe 40 minutes or 80 minutes, depending on if they're block scheduling or not. So it's a brand new thing to most of our faculty and our team. So we're building the lectures and exercises to adopt to this timing constraint. And they're full lesson plans when we build them out. So we're using, and then most high schools, as far as hardware, most high schools use Chromebook computers. Again, we're not using Chromebooks here, right? But, and they don't have Python installed locally. So that could be an issue, right? So the team created course materials using online platforms to perform the exercises, including Pearson Revel, Google Colab, and a Cengage tool. So the other thing is most high schools for the data literacy course, we're looking at using Excel, but most high schools use Google Sheets. So we have to modify there. Next slide, please. Thank you. So ancillary outcomes, we've definitely collegiality and scalability, right? By joining hyper colleagues from different parts of the state to achieve a common goal, led to course content agreement among 3 community colleges. I think that's pretty strong for New Jersey, right? We're not like the Florida school system. That can be then expanded to other community colleges, right? So we have some scalability there, and to 4-year schools as well. And it's also going to improve, I think this will improve our the attainability of articulation agreements, right? And curriculum agreements. As far as delivery and management, so our vision is that the courses will be distributed to numerous high schools. So we need a way to easily deliver and manage it. And so I was talking about this a little bit earlier, right? The team suggested a few options. Do we put the course into a zip file, right? That's kind of, I think that's a little lame. can we do a Canvas course shell? Can we use GitHub repository? GitHub's free, or maybe use Google Colab, and there's a fee if you're sharing it with more than 2 people. So that's still to be determined. We're still working that out. As far as standardizing file and naming conventions, everybody, you've got school people from many different backgrounds, mathematics and computer science and whatnot, and 3 different schools. So we had to come up with a consistent naming convention for documents, including version numbers and keywords to make the documents clearly identifiable. Because right now we're using, I had to get a workspace that we could all work in and go in and share files and as a repository. And actually, you can edit files in there. It's called Zoho Workspace. And then possibly, looking at these data literacy texts, or what the lack of data literacy text, I should say, we're possibly maybe thinking about authoring a text. That could be an expansion that just comes out of this with a couple of people from the team who are interested in it. Definitely prepare for an enormous amount of work. I think this was quite a lofty goal and a very, very difficult undertaking to do it, right? You're building 3 courses, completely building them out. It's a good bit of work. So definitely prepare for that. Set attainable goals, right? Give yourself more time to complete the project. We said this was a year, and honestly, it's probably a 2-year project, but we're working hard and we'll meet our goals. If I say I'm going to do something, I do it. Writing course content definitely takes time. So stick to your implementation plan as much as possible, and flex dates as necessary, right? Sometimes, nothing ever goes as planned, right? So you flex it out a little bit. Be flexible. Mindfulness, right? Be mindful of the fact that you're developing content-rich courses. It requires writing strong yet attainable student learning outcomes, right? That's really important. Ensure that every member of your team fully understands the mission from the onset. You don't want anybody lagging behind, right? Or someone confused about what it is. You have to set clear goals and make sure that everyone's aware of them. Look for new tools in the course to make it more exciting for both the content creators and instructors, right? And for the students as well. I like this I think is really important, teaming up members with different backgrounds. So just because you're a computer scientist and you know Python, and that's great, but I think having a mathematician that can do Python as well on the team, there's a slightly different way of thinking, right? Sometimes, right? There's something new coming to the table. So we talk about diversity a lot, right? But diversity of thought is something that doesn't get mentioned too much, but I think that's paramount to success. And then be open to new ideas, right? You can't be siloed, and you can't be just closed-minded. Next up, that's me again. Okay. So precision agriculture using AI drones. We're partnering with Rowan University on this. We also have industry partners, DiMatteo Farm, Macri Farm, Matro Farm, Piney Hollow Farm, Vaccarella Farm, and Influential Drones is our training company for drone safety. So the idea here was to create a bond definitely between, or even strengthen our bond between Rowan and Camden County College. We've got experiential learning opportunities for the students, that we're connecting them with industry, and I think the students are really learning a lot from this project. So we're collaborating with Rowan, as I said, and we're looking to. So last year, let me go back a little bit, maybe give you a little background. Dr. Hugh Wynn from Rowan University and his colleagues were working on this, and if any of you were at the our data science symposium last year, you would have seen his presentation. And at that time, they were flying the drones manually. But now, this year, the expansion for them was to go to autonomous flight. So that's what we've been working on and develop, and also still training these deep learning models to estimate crop yield and blueberry scorch from using computer vision from the air, right? So flying over these bushes, taking images, annotating images, what it takes to annotate an image. You could have 3,000 berries on a plant, right? On a bush. So to try to annotate all of them is impossible, but to get, even getting them when they're clumped together, right? And you, in the annotation, what I'm saying, what you have to do is make a little box around each blueberry, so that now that you train the model and the model understands this is a blueberry. Prior to that, you have to train it on what is a bush, right? This is a row, this is a bush. But also then you get down to the blueberry level and you have to train it, and this is a blueberry, so that then it can recognize that in future images, right? So the community college students are performing undergraduate research, and they're working, we're going to also do this through the summer. It will end in the end of July. We have 4-year faculty. We have 3 faculty from Rowan, 3 faculty from Camden County, 2 graduate students from Rowan, 2 undergrad from Rowan, and 2 undergrad from Camden County working together. Next slide, please. Thank you. So as I said, it runs through July. We're gonna have these models trained by the students for detecting blueberries. And when I say training, they've been trained in the past, but they were trained on images that were kind of blurry, some of them, and they had to find some higher way to get some higher def images. And then also, like, now you have to annotate those new higher def images and retrain the models. And then you're adjusting hyperparameters and whatnot throughout this process, right? So it's detecting blueberries and detecting the scorch virus, right? If one plant gets scorch, usually what farmers would do is they'd spread so quickly they would burn out a whole section of their crop, and that's too costly to do. So by geotagging that bush, they can just go directly to it and dig it out. Each school is building its own drone. They're programmable. We start with a drone kit, and then from there we have to add camera, nano computer, all kinds of other things, so that the drone can communicate with a laptop, so that we can actually collect the data and then work with it, right? We've also have tutorials to train the students on deep learning and drone programming, and they go through their Google presentations, Zoom recordings, and the students work through that in the beginning of, I guess, probably the first couple months, just to get them for the onboarding process. It's a collaborative research project, right? So students are learning about the data science pipeline, data collection, augmentation, training, validation, everything that you need to do for machine learning or deep learning in this case. They gained experience collaborating as a team and improved their communication skills. Every week we make them, they have to present what they've been working on. So we meet weekly. We meet for about 3 hours every Friday. We have a faculty meeting first, followed by a 2-hour student meeting. And in that student meeting that we go over, sometimes in the beginning, it may have been part lecture to get them up to speed mathematically where they needed, or in the coding. And then other times it's, and now we've progressed to the point where they can now present. And each mentor takes a turn leading the meetings. We've provided students with hands-on experience in doing research and data science with a strong emphasis on machine learning topics, right? So some of the challenges we've run into, again, nothing's without challenges. Some of the students, were lacking in their programming skills, right? They're just a little bit behind, but they needed some training in the and then even faculty needed some training in the software that they haven't used yet, right? So CVAT is a software that they're using for the annotation process and whatnot, and even some of the Linux stuff. Not all the faculty were familiar with Linux, so they needed some training. More senior members in the project served as trainers and provide the necessary training to bring everyone up to speed, and it's going well. A project involves hardware modification. Oh, go back, please. Thank you. It involves hardware modification, right? So we have a mechanical workshop at a machine shop at the college, and they've provided a great deal of help in modifying the drone parts and 3D printing some additional parts for us that we needed. We've had some problems, sometimes you have students fall behind on their tasks, right? But additional student-only team-led team meetings held by their seniors. So the graduate students, in other words, are running these team meetings, and they're meeting weekly in addition to the meetings that they have with us. And then we're doing their work on the side as well. The students are working about probably, they're 10 hours a week easily to throughout this, and they'll do about 25 hours a week in the summer. Software issues. So yeah, that happens, right? So particularly in the annotation software, right? So when you hit a certain number of blueberries, right, it starts slowing down and it takes longer. And now you have to wait before you can put that next box in there. And you get around, 1,000 blueberries in an image, and it's getting pretty slow. So one of the students went into the actual the source code for the software, and he found that there was a note from the original programmer that said this could be optimized, this task, right? He did. So he wrote a script to optimize it. As far as there was another way for reporting. Another student had to go in and write scripts to get the report out of the software and into a more readable format and something that's easily accessible. So these students are doing amazing things, I think, with this project so far. Next slide, please. So some outcomes. We had a mid-year student survey. We actually gave them an initial survey, a mid-year, and they will have a final survey as well. They indicated that their programming and communication skills, confidence in doing research, and knowledge of data science scored an average of 4 on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the highest, right? We're looking at possibly expanding the project to so the farmers have indicated that they would be beneficial to them to have their fields mapped. So that expands the project into geospatial analytics. And also we're looking at possibly partnering with our computer integrated manufacturing department to maybe print our own drone frames, because we're in the process of buying 3 carbon fiber 3D printers right now. And I think that would be something that would be extremely cool for the students to do, to be able to print their own parts, and then, we'll just buy the other pieces that we need. So we're definitely looking to expand this, if there is a year 3, into another school, possibly printable circuit boards. There are a lot of ideas on the table right now. As far as advice goes, yeah, you need support from your administration, right? You need space for in-person meetings. You need, we've met at Camden County 3 times and Rowan 3 times for in-person. The rest of our meetings are Zoom meetings. So you definitely need that. You need a computer lab. You need the materials. You definitely need the support. When you have a collaborative project like this, you need to find a common time to meet, and that's tough, right? Especially for the students. They're taking 4 or 5 classes. We're teaching it, 3, 4, 5 classes, whatever. Some of us more, and it's pretty hard. So virtually was the best, but then also when we go out to the farms, that will be on Saturdays coming up, starting shortly in May. We'll be going out to the farms because, right, there's nothing on the bushes right now. You can't do anything right now. So recruiting students, that's the key, right? You got to talk to other faculty, right? Work on the project. Purchase any equipment that's needed. That's something you got to do that early on, because I don't know what purchasing is like in your respective schools, but sometimes it can be it can take a little while, right? There's a little bit of red tape there. Next slide, please. Oh, so here's some pictures here. This is where the students are actually, so there's Rowan students and Camden County students are building their drones, and we instructed them to, look really intense here and make it look like you're doing something important. Obviously, from the way they look here, they're really into it. Next slide, please. Okay, I guess that's it for me. Thank you all.
Okay, I want to thank you, Joe, for presenting both of those projects, the Power of Data and the Precision AI Drone Project. Very exciting work that's going on in Camden County, and thank you for being the lead institution on those 2 projects. The next project we would like to present is the Esports Production Project. David Bruno from Camden College will be presenting this project. Thank you, David.
Thank you, Kelly. Excited to talk about this. I guess it's just as fun as what Joe was mentioning with AI drones. I get to work with really a project also rendered about competitive video gaming, and that's really what esports is. It's really supporting competitive video gaming, but with viewership that exceeds most traditional sports that you see on television today. And our goal, the big goal behind all of this was really to put some structure behind esports activities here in the state of New Jersey on an academic, and really, as we term it, almost like the wild, wild west. So you have interscholastic programming on the K through 12 level that have seen huge growth over the past year. You have intercollegiate programming as well, surrounded with esports. You have the K through 12 academic sectors, the 2-year and the 4-year programming, all working towards adding esports activities and esports coursework into their programming. Then you have the for-profits and the nonprofits that exist. We have huge organizations and really national leaders here in the state of New Jersey that we've been very fortunate to work with as part of this project, as well as nonprofits as well. Exciting to see kind of us having an opportunity to celebrate this word that I use. It's the vessel, that esports really is the vessel as it relates to supporting esports activities and really integration. Our goal is we are not training and we're not supporting professional video gamers. We are really working on the academic approach that provides multiple entry and exit points, from on a career path that really build transferable skills, and all of which have been embedded in our existing esports production AAS degree. And the goal was really to work with other institutions in the state of New Jersey, to build foundation, to build organization, and really to build collaboration in the sector. I can share that the work that we've been doing here in the state of New Jersey as a part of this project has garnered national attention. And really, it's a great opportunity for the state of New Jersey to stand out where we stand from an esports perspective. And other states are looking to us to be the model that they can begin to implement in their states as we go forward. So, and just before I go to the next slide, you'll see our education partners. So it's Camden County College. We have 3 high schools that we're working with: Cherry Hill East, Cherry Hill West, and Sterling Regional High School. 2 4-year institutions, Stockton University and Rutgers University Camden, and 2 organizations that support our community members: the Salvation Army Kroc Center in Camden, and the Camden Volunteers of America, the Delaware Valley. And we do have an industry partner as well, Horizon AVL Esports Integration. They have worked both nationally and internationally in terms of integrating esports activities into about 200 schools nationwide. So really in a good position all to make this happen. So next slide, please. So the first part that I want to mention is the experiential learning opportunity. So this is probably the highlight of our project, and this was the creation of the Garden State Esports South Jersey Intercollegiate Cup, which is most certainly a mouthful, but this is the first in-person intercollegiate esports league in the nation, with experiential learning being the outcome of this. So we were able to bring together 5 colleges and universities: Camden, Brookdale Community College, Stockton, Rutgers, Camden, and Rowan University, at 4 locations, you'll see there, and collaborating with 2 industry leaders, so Horizon AVL Esports Integration and Garden State Esports, who is the provider of the largest high school esports league activities here in the state of New Jersey, and the emphasis is on production and content creation. So essentially, this cup, this league, allows for local high schools to attend and work together with not only college students, but also industry leaders to assist in the production of these events. Again, what we were able to do is put a league together, and that outcome essentially was the production of everything from pre-game to in-game analysis and casting, to post-game, and even the lead ups that go into these events as we go forward. The way I always describe it, think of it like ESPN or a local baseball, football broadcast, but this is centered around video gaming. And that's essentially what we were able to do. And we had 30 students participate so far at the first two events at Camden County College and at Stockton University. We'll be at Brookdale in the month of April. And then again, that finals location is to be determined. Next slide, please. And really the goal behind a lot of this is really establishing industry standards as connected to esports. A lot of great work has been going on within the esports industry, but the idea was let's put some focus on possible certifications and credentialing opportunities. So things that we're looking at are things like Adobe certifications, specifically in Illustrator, Photoshop, and Premiere, three of which all support the production elements of our broadcasts. CTS and audio visual. As well as work on Unreal Engine. And Unreal Engine, if again, looking at, we'll use football, the traditional sport. If you're watching one of those Sunday football broadcasts and you see those backgrounds behind the analysts that look like almost like 3D images, that's Unreal Engine really producing a lot of that. And then of course your CompTIA from the cybersecurity side of the house. We've already built our credit courses here, and what we've been working on with Stockton is also, I should also mention, has completed their coursework. We're now working directly with Rutgers Camden to identify those courses so that we can work towards articulation with that. And two new non-credit courses will be launched next month. And that will be a streaming for beginners, a streaming 101, as well as a build your own gaming PCs. I know there's a question in the chat. Let me just quickly answer this. Part of the real-time data analytics needs to occur during that. We currently don't have coursework that's dedicated to but this is where that correlation, the collaboration with data science specifically is clear. Everything that happens in an esports game is again similar to a traditional event. So you're talking about statistics, you're talking about real-time decision making. If player X decides to go down hallway Y, what's that outcome going to be? Is it better from a team standpoint to go that direction or to do something else? So really great opportunities to work together with other departments to assist. Next slide, please. And the idea also was to build the articulation opportunities. And we had established our ESP AAS degree with a fall 2023 launch. We were able to do a articulation with Stockton University very quickly. We had been working with that behind the scenes to get that going almost immediately upon launch of our degree. And Rutgers University Camden is now in the process of working towards an articulation option through their digital studies degree. The challenges, I think this was mentioned by Joe actually just previously, is the speed. Articulations take time. It takes a lot of collaborative meetings and discussions and decisions regarding content and what's going to count here, there, elsewhere. But really great opportunities to build out this sector through those conversations towards articulation. And just some ancillary outcomes. We've had preliminary discussions now with Rowan University regarding alignment in both their College of Communication and Creative Arts, which would be a BA in Sports Communication and Media, and the School of Professional Studies through their Esports Business Certificate of Undergraduate Studies. So we're excited to see those opportunities and looking forward to possible articulations with some of our northern schools in the very near future. Next slide, please. So we're also working towards establishing curriculum mapping and other opportunities with community colleges. So specifically, we've been talking with Brookdale Community College regarding curriculum sharing. We've been able to put forward ours pretty much first in the state of New Jersey as it connects to esports production. And I know other schools are looking at this from an esports management or an esports event style degree. So what we've been doing has been sharing our ideas, our approaches with other institutions, and Brookdale specifically. There's been ongoing conversations about how we can really take what exists in our coursework and have it go cross-sector over to Brookdale. And again, just mentioning, not all community colleges see esports the same way. Some see them as athletics only. Some see it as student life activities. We at Camden County College saw it as an academic opportunity that leads to gainful employment and transferable skills. And so really, our path and our determination has really certainly opened up doors at other community colleges in the state of New Jersey to look at it differently as well. Next slide. So also looking at the alignment with high schools. And so you see some courses listed here, specifically related to CTE. And what we're trying to do is really work at the pace that needs to occur on the high school level. Sterling Regional, Cherry Hill, East and West have been great partners so far as they explore really adopting esports curriculum into their districts. This is not an easy choice. And again, I think one of the challenges, which again is probably a greater challenge just over the past month or so, is budget. This notion of bringing on a brand new curriculum is a daunting task. But at the same point, they're seeing how Camden County College has adopted this. They're seeing the articulation opportunity that exists currently with Stockton, potentially with Rutgers University Camden, potentially with Rowan and other institutions. So it's certainly given them opportunity to support this initiative. But again, it's been a slow process overall. Some of the great opportunities, we've been able to meet with board members and talk about why esports is important in their districts. Really, it's changing the narrative that esports is not about video gaming, but it really is about the job outcomes that can occur through this vessel of esports as we go forward. So we've been excited to work with these institutions. The experiential learning opportunities are natural. We've been able to bring them on site here to our esports arena. They've been able to go to other institutions like Stockdale. They'll be going to Brookdale as a part of the South Jersey Collegiate Cup. So again, really great opportunities for them to see it firsthand, to experience what it's like to compete on a college level, and really build it out from that point on. Next slide. So PLA. Part of what we've been doing with PLA is determining credentials, certificates, et cetera, from those that exist in the field already. So if you look at the professional streamers that are out there that are making, $10,000, $15,000 a month on their streaming activities, if they wanted to come back for a degree opportunity, what would that look like? So one of the areas that we've decided to focus on is on our esports specific coursework, and either building out a portfolio. And unfortunately, these individuals have a significantly large digital portfolio that we can look at in terms of the skills that are already there that line up with our existing degrees here. And we can use that and work with our faculty members to assess and determine how many hours we can then apply for PLA as we go forward. Next slide. And then looking at the adult population. So our adult learners, our CBOs and adult literacy. The opportunity here is really gainful employment and those opportunities that are built around esports. Again, we're not encouraging anybody to look at that professional video gaming aspect, but if we can build and support future entrepreneurs and those that be self-employed that want to build their business around content creation, streaming, and those particular marketing opportunities, esports production is certainly a great opportunity. We were able to host on site a video game for veterans, and that idea really came from two areas. Number one, there is research out there that shows that competitive video games specifically has a positive impact on the suicide rate of veterans coming out of service. And really, this is an opportunity for them to embrace this from a social perspective, but also look at how those skills that they're looking at and utilizing can be applied into the job force as well. And those non-credit courses that I mentioned earlier are really going to be good on-ramps for the production opportunities. And then just my last slide here, before I get to a couple of pictures, is really professional development. There's a wide need across the spectrum here for professional development. It can be something as simple as working together with school districts in terms of how that narrative with parents goes. It could be with community colleges. And the idea is, again, the emphasis is on gainful employment. It's on transferable skills as taught through our esports programming here at Camden County College and other institutions. And then last slide, just a couple of images. So top left is our articulation signing with Dr. Bertolino and Dr. Hugh Bassett from the Stockton and Camden County College articulation. And the other three pictures was our first South Jersey Intercollegiate Cup. You can see in that bottom left, you can see schools all over the state of New Jersey that are really looking, really enjoyed participating in this. My favorite picture is the one on the top right, and that's where you have an industry experts from Horizon AVL Esports Integration working directly with the students to show them how to improve the stream that was going on at that particular moment. It says, what are the jobs your graduates are being hired for? Well, this really speaks to the same kind of jobs that a production assistant, a program assistant, a director in the broadcast media look at. So again, what esports production really speaks to is this notion of it being very similar to traditional sports broadcasts. So any of the jobs that are connected to that are now applicable through our esports production degree. But in addition to that, we're looking at, cybersecurity analysts, data analytics that was mentioned a little bit earlier in the chat as well. But also marketers. Again, these are social media content creators now. These are really opportunities to build this out and support, these job areas that, again, hadn't really truly been defined up until the past couple of years when this really became much more mainstream. And I think that's it. If there's any other questions.
Thank you, David, for a very nice presentation on esports. I think it's very interesting that we've heard from a couple of groups now talk about, the challenges with curriculum alignment across New Jersey and articulation agreements. So this is perfect timing, and that I will be speaking about the NJBDA and the articulation alignment and how we are trying to accomplish that in the data science curriculum. So part of this project is myself from CCM, Joe, and Essex Community College. So the NJBDA is New Jersey Big Data Alliance. It is a consortium of four-year community colleges that align curriculum and look at transfer in data science. NJBDA was originally formed with, four-year community colleges, and this is the first year that they're opening the doors and allowing two-year membership. Next slide. Again, NJBDA, like I just said, is forming a partnership now with the two-year community colleges. And really, we want to align curriculum and have stronger articulation agreements across the state of New Jersey. And, next slide, please. One of the things we looked at is really aligning the Introduction to Data Science course and the Python programming course. And because, these are new courses within New Jersey, unlike the calculus ones and the probability and statistics courses or the algebra courses that have been existing for several years, the Introduction to Data Science course and a lot of these new courses we're creating within the data science curriculum need to be mapped into the four-year institutions. So this is just a snapshot of looking at NJ transfer and making sure the NJ transfer system is updated so that students can see where their courses align. This also helps with working with dual enrollment and working with high schools. When high schools are going to be teaching your courses, one of the questions we always get is, well, what four-year institutions does this course transfer to? So you can see the Introduction to Data Science course originally last year really only mapped to probably one or two four-year colleges, and now it's mapping into 6 four-year colleges. Next slide. The Python programming course, which is more popular and more streamlined across New Jersey. Again, this is a snapshot from NJ Transfer. Again, last year, I would say prior to our work with the articulation agreement and prior to working closely with NJBDA, probably only mapped to, again, 2 or 3 four-year institutions. And now you can see that we're in year 2 of this project and aligning data science curriculum, like Joe spoke about from Camden Community College, that now the Python programming course at CCM maps into 17 different four-year colleges across New Jersey. So this has been a big headway and a big accomplishment to get these articulations, not only in the courses, but our programs aligned across New Jersey. And I think, you know, within the Bloomberg area and the esports area, you know, this is areas where both projects talked about improving alignment across articulation. Next slide, please. I wanted to highlight some of the competitions that our students took part in. We did take part in the fall ASA Data Science Challenge, where the students were given a data set from a real world company and asked to analyze the data from Stack Overflow developer survey, and really asked to answer, if you were to create a new course, what course would be created? And they had to go through the developer survey and highlight, you know, and answer that question. And our team from the County College of Morris did win. So we were very proud that, you know, a two-year institution was recognized at the national level through the American Statistics Association for this competition. Next slide. So Camden College also took part in this project. Joe, did you want to speak on this, or do you want to just me to go through it? You know, they're working with Ramapo, Rowan.
I believe Anita Wright was going to.
Oh, Anita, do you
an
want to
update.
speak for Camden on the project?
Sure. Currently, we have established articulation with Ramapo. We're in progress with Rowan, Centenary, and Rider University right now is on hold. The challenges we face are because we're a AAS program and we've embedded data science courses with real-world tools and certifications. This isn't being done in the lower 2 years of the four-year schools at this time. So courses that we are teaching in the first and second year are often being taught in the third and fourth year at the four-year schools. So this is hampering our ability to form articulation agreements. Next slide. This past fall, 5 of our students were invited to a data science competition up in New York City, sponsored by Capitalize, the Data School, and RSM. And they were primarily using the Alteryx tool. One of our students made it into the final round. We see that picture in the middle there. And their team took 3rd place. But I have an update. On Friday, 5 of our students went to the spring competition, and 2 of our students were on the winning team. So next time we get together, I'll show you pictures of them, but they each won $3,000 taking 1st place at the competition on Friday. And I'm still so excited about it. I'm happy to tell anybody all about it that wants to hear more. Thank you, Kelly.
Congratulations, Anita. That's excellent news. I look forward to seeing some pictures of that on that too. Next, we're going to have Ines from Essex Community College speak about their work with articulation agreements as it relates to data science. Oh, if you just can hit unmute, because it automatically mutes you. It's in the lower left corner of the screen. Lauren, are you able to unmute her, or Stephanie?
Yes, I'm sorry, who's the speaker?
Ines from Essex Community College. INE.
Okay,
Yeah, there you go.
Sorry, it was telling me I wasn't allowed to do that.
Sorry about that.
Okay. So yeah, we made a lot of good progress over the last 6 weeks or so. So we were able to get 4 courses approved through our curriculum committee, 4 new courses, data science courses, Data Science 1, Data Science 2, Artificial Intelligence and Data Visualization, as well as a Computer Science Data Science option program. And so they're in the pipeline right now to get approved by our executive dean and our president, and then it can go to AIC. But the most significant accomplishment that we're really proud of is that we got letters of transferability from NJIT, Kane, Drew, and we have a joint admissions agreement with Caldwell, kind of a blanket agreement for all of our programs. So we felt like that was such wonderful validation because we were really struggling with, were we on the right track? Just like a lot of you mentioned, we were looking at what the 2-year schools were doing with data science, what were the 4-year schools doing with data science, and there was such a mismatch in a lot of cases. And I think we kind of picked something kind of down the middle that seems to have satisfied at least NJIT, which was our big, the big one that we wanted to satisfy, because that really is where most of our students transfer. We are literally a block away from them. So it's very walkable. Students are familiar with that campus. So we were really proud of that. So next step is for us to get approval from AIC. And if all goes well, we can start offering some of these courses in the fall semester. So that was it for me.
Great, thank you so much. I wanted to highlight that this project actually was selected. This is the NJBDA is going to have their spring meeting. So save the date, those 2-year institutions that are going to join NJBDA. And I believe you're going to be allowed to have 10 representatives attend the conference. It's May 17th from 8:30 to 3:30. And Catherine, I'm going to open it up to you if you wanted to say anything about joining and being members of NJBDA and the new alliance and the direction that this project is going to take for its future.
Thank you, Kelly. I won't really talk about the membership because those emails went out and all the college representatives, community college representatives for whom NJ Big Data Alliance has opened up its membership to have been notified. But I will backtrack a bit in your presentation to when you talked about the articulations. So certainly the Community College of Morris and Camden and others have had some success with articulations between courses from their institutions to 4-year colleges and universities. All 17 of those 4-year institutions actually making up the membership of the New Jersey Big Data Alliance. However, we want more, and we want to make it more systematic, because certainly all the energy that CCM, Camden, and others have put into the alignment of curriculum, well, we're going to make that easier, hopefully in the future for other community colleges to accomplish. And so we're changing the direction of the Pathways project that was funded here in year 2. And we're, between myself and the president of the New Jersey Big Data Alliance, we figured, and others, we figured that we should go about it in a more systematic way by creating a research project to be led by Rutgers with graduate students of Rutgers to develop a framework for the community colleges, data science degrees, all of them, right? Like in whatever form they are in, as well as the 4-year colleges, data science and equivalent degrees. The goal of this Pathways project is for as many 4-year colleges and universities and community colleges to come together, do this evaluation so that more credits of community college graduates with associate degrees in data science or equivalent subjects may be transferred into the baccalaureate degree programs for courses other than electives, which is always the goal. This can lead to more community college graduate transfers into 4-year colleges and universities and lower the cost for those graduates overall. And really the project objectives is, and this project will start in the summer and may end in next fall. But the project objectives is to identify core pillars of fundamental understanding in data science that prepare transfer students to meet the learning expectations of the 4 years, for example, in math, statistics, computing, and other prerequisites. We are hoping also to find patterns and common threads to help merge the gap of credits being accepted and potentially obtain program-to-program articulation. We believe that through this project, potential program-to-program articulation in data science could be obtained with the discovery of one community college providing the appropriate prerequisites to seemingly transfer into the four-year institution's data science program, and not one, but as many as possible. This research project has the potential to give insight to community colleges into how well their programs actually do meet the needs of their students and the steps they need to make a general standard so that, in fact, all or as many as possible community colleges will have this transferability into the four-year colleges and universities, data science and equivalent baccalaureate degrees. So we figure with all of the community college faculty signing on, and for faculty who are on this, you'll be contacted since this project starts, as well as the data science faculty at the four-year colleges and universities signing on and agreeing to the results. Guess what? We'll have the consensus we need to ensure that across the board for all community college graduates with associates in data science degrees, in fact, their credits will transfer into courses and not electives into the four-year colleges and universities. So we're very excited about this research project, and we will all be hearing more about it as it is confirmed by Rutgers. So stay tuned.
Great. Thank you, Catherine, for updating everyone on the new direction of this project. I just wanted to highlight that this project, the articulation agreements in data science, was highlighted by NJBIA, and we were hosted on the TV show Minding Your Business. It has not aired yet. What we will be very excited to see once the final edits and the clip has been aired. Myself and Matt Hale did go to the NJBIA office, and we were filmed to talk about the articulation agreements and the work that this project has undertaken across New Jersey, trying to align the curriculum and opportunities and pathways for students in data science. So we are very excited to when this will air. I hopefully will be within the next month.
And of course, Matt Hale is the president of the New Jersey Big Data Alliance.
And so I think that is it. This will, thank you everyone for your presentations. I think this is a lot of progress and innovation across New Jersey. You can see everything from the Bloomberg FinTech project, the Drone AI project, the work in data science, and the work in cybersecurity. And, you know, there is a lot of improvements that have been made in year 2 on this innovation pathway. So I'd like
Right,
to,
Kelly, we do have a couple of questions in the chat. I know we're a little over time, so there's really only
so we're going to
two.
open it up for the Q&A. Do you want to lead those, Stephanie?
So so the first one, I guess I could put my screen on. All right, I'm on my screen. Okay. So it says, this is exciting. This is about the Bloomberg FinTech project. And they're asking, will Bloomberg recruit any of the pilot students for work-based learning opportunities? So I don't know if anyone from the Essex team wants to field that one.
So this is something that we are working towards. And for now, we have Bloomberg for Education, who we are making some breakthroughs. It takes sometimes months, sometimes years, because the folks change at the institution. So when we just did the inauguration of the Bloomberg Lab, we have some commitments from Bloomberg for Education getting more involved as an organization with us. So we are in the very early stages, and we don't really know which track we will follow, but we are just waiting for Bloomberg to give us some direction. Everything is so brand new. So that's one. We have now the supply chain piece. We do have a company called Granger who is looking at supply chain, but again, the finance, the fintech part of it is something we want to explore. We also have federal credit unions who are talking about financial literacy. They'll be one of our presenters, and how they can hire our students for internships. One of the challenges has been, in my opinion, the thinking industry that students who came to a two-year college went to the workforce. I have kept repeating that the narrative has changed. And so we are exploring the possibility of a student who graduates from a community college in the summer would get a 10-week internship before they can go to a 4-year institution and they can carry on with their education. They can then seek part-time employment at the organization, or if hired full-time, then they would be part-time at the 4-year college. So that's where we are as of today.
Great, thank you so much.
Pleasure.
One last question. This is for you, Sylvie, in the high flex classroom. So Anita is asking.
Oh, you're muted again, Stephanie. Can you unmute?
Sorry about that. So this is a question.
You're good, Stephanie.
Okay, it says, this is for Sylvie, asking about the high flex delivery modality. Do you have a technician in the classroom?
We have so we've had what we call navigators, and some of them are students who the answer is yes. We also have, it depends on the classroom. We've been trying to do that as much as we can because not every classroom is the same with the setup, what it looks like, where you can see your students. So we don't have a full-time in every single class that we run, but we do have navigators and techs, yes. Until the instructors get used to it. Usually takes 2 or 3 classes and then they're fine.
Right, great. Thank you so much. Okay, that was it for the chat. Thank you all. I'm going to turn it back over to Catherine for some closing remarks.
I know the hour is late. I appreciate everyone who stayed on to hear about all of these fabulous Pathways projects. Thank you again for attending. Look for communications we'll be sending out about year-end performance progress report outs. Next slide. We just want to draw your attention to the statewide to future statewide industry collaborative meetings that will be highlighting progress reports for the Manufacturing and Supply Chain Management Center of Workforce Innovation. That is Thursday of this week. Also, we will have our second Pathway Summit in Atlantic City at Bally's Hotel and Casino, June 12th. And this year, our Pathway Summit will be incorporated into the Community College Opportunity Summit. So to give you an opportunity to maybe listen in if you choose to stay, come a day early, stay a day later, to hear all about what's happening in our community colleges. So thank you again for joining us. If you happen to post about this event, please tag us on one of our handles, and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thanks,
Have a good day.
everybody.
Thank you, everyone. Have a nice day.